just a quick background on who we are. I'm Justin, founder of Bar Agency, as well as Shiloh. Shiloh is an AI call grading application in the real estate space, as well as Bar Agency. We've been building all the custom software for a lot of the teams that you probably know. I won't name drop them, but a lot of the biggest ones that exist on the planet for going on 5 years now. And Josh is actually employee #1 at Bar Agency and is in control of the entire real estate side of our company. So excited to have him here as a part of this. But the first thing that I wanted to start with, and we're going to kind of go quick here, is just opening and setting the floor on like the AI is one of these situations where if you don't get on the train now, you'll get left behind. We are at that crucial portion of a development of a new technology where it's taking root in this calendar year, where adoption is going to go through the roof, and you're going to see more of these, like you hear AI agents talked about a whole lot. You're going to hear a lot more of that happening throughout the course of this year, right? And some really quick stats on that is that, all right, so people that use real estate agents, these are stats that only pertain to AI adoption in the real estate space. So I'm subsected down in even these stats that I'm showing you. So AI users, like people that use AI, close deals 25% faster with 8 to 12% higher returns. Why? Well, because AI now has the ability to augment us as humans time-wise in a way that we could never do before, so we can get the humans back to the human side of this thing, which is being face-to-face. The AI will not replace the service provider. So hear me loud and clear when I say that. There are some big companies that you guys know of that have tried and spent billions of dollars to replace real estate agents, and it has failed miserably for everybody that ever tried. AI will also not succeed at that, but what it will do is create more profitable and productive agents that have ever existed before, right? So adoption is really high too. So like 90%, you guys have heard of a bunch of people share today that they're already using AI. The real stat is that 90% of agents are now actively using AI tools on a day-to-day basis. In the future, the trend direction is that 90% of transactions will involve AI by 2023. And in the reality where your other consumer tools, like your DoorDashes of the world and the apps that we have on our phone, they're going to be at the bleeding edge of utilizing AI. And that trains consumer behavior to expect that from people that provide services. They'll expect the exact same thing from the real estate space, right? So AI helps agents have an 85% faster kind of query response rate to things that people have, whether that's you actually getting back to them and you generating the content using AI, or even using AI in some cases to respond directly back to people. So that's setting the stage here for where we're going. And I wanted to give you guys I shared this with Chase yesterday, but this is like no longer a theoretical situation.
Hey, Justin, this is Shiloh. Happy Wednesday. How can I help?
Hey, Shiloh. I just met with Richard Hendricks, and I need to make sure to change his stage in the CRM over to active client because he just signed up with us. I also need to create a task to connect him with a lender tomorrow. And then I need to set an appointment to show him homes at 8 a.m. on Saturday. We'll start at 123 East Main Street, and I'm going to show him 3 houses. And then after you're done with all of that, can you just create a note reflecting everything that you did?
I'll help you with all of that. Let me break this down step by step. First, let me check the stages in Follow Up Boss to make sure we set the right stage for Richard. Great, I see active client as a valid stage. Now let me find Richard's contact record. I found Richard's record, ID 51. Let me update his stage to active client. Now, let me create a task for tomorrow to connect him with a lender. Now, let me set up the showing appointment for Saturday at 8 a.m. Finally, let me create a note to document all these changes. Perfect. I've completed everything you asked for. 1. Updated Richard's stage to active client 2. Create a task for tomorrow to connect him with a lender. 3. Set up the showing appointment for Saturday at 8 a.m. starting at 123 East Main Street 4. Created a note documenting all these changes. Is there anything else you need help with?
Yeah, can you add a tag that is bad number?
I'll add a tag bad number to Richard's contact record. Done. I've added the bad number tag to Richard's contact record. Anything else you need help with?
No, that's great. Thanks so much for your help. Okay, so at the end of this presentation, there's going to be a QR code to some information for you guys to access, download, do whatever you want. I built that in an application called Lindy, and we're just going to give away the template for you guys to download and install and tweak and do whatever you guys want yourself. The reason why I wanted to show this to you guys is that this is not theoretical anymore. This is real life stuff where I created this on my own. I probably have a little bit more technical knowledge than the average bear. However, I did this in 2 days, like just in between meetings, back-to-back meetings, toying around with it, getting it to where it is right now, right? So we'll give that away to you guys for free at the end of this, but I just wanted to prove to everybody here that this is no longer a theoretical thing. AI agents being a part of our life is the future. So
yo, y'all getting that right here in REC, like right here, live, right now. Wait, Justin, you ain't had to come like that. You didn't have to come like that. That's like,
Hey, Jeff, good luck following this, by the way.
who? Well, I'm on it. What?
all right, Josh. Yeah, take it away, man.
Yeah, right on. Well, as you guys can see, Justin and I have been spending the last 4 years working with teams to create incredible things like that. Justin's mind has been at the forefront of all of that for a lot longer than Barra Agency has even existed. And so I do want to talk about something because it feels like my life's work so far in my career. I've been, with Barra Agency, struggling with agents to work through all these things. And I think the one thing that we are trying to fight against and find a cure for is shiny object syndrome, right? Like this stuff that Justin's showing you, Shiloh, things like, that you see that all over RECC, these cool tools, those aren't just created overnight. And when you see something in the industry that's new, it doesn't necessarily mean that it applies to you, right? And so, I mean, even Chase was talking earlier about how he doesn't want my Gen AI to duplicate him, right? That's not a use case for him. Michelle was talking about how recruiting.
We're coming for him. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. We'll convince him one way or another. We need more Chases.
Stay in Arizona.
I think cloning will work. But Michelle even was talking about how recruiting is best done by you, right? And so there's a couple things that AI isn't going to be able to recreate. But as Justin was saying, it is going to make you more productive. Justin, you can go to that next slide for me. And so what we've created here after kind of working on not only AI, but just automations and integrations even before AI had came out. Justin and I, when Barra Agency started, I think it was a couple months in that ChatGPT was released, which was a fun development for us. But we have a framework essentially for you to be able to practically implement new AI and technology into your teams. And so the first one is assessing and defining the objectives, right? So finding the pain points within your company. So what are the things that are slowing you down, and which departments are they in? So setting goals for that to be able to identify those and then identify what you want to achieve by solving those is the first thing that we want to do here. And focusing in specifically on the bottlenecks. I know a lot of teams kind of get bottlenecked by maybe their team lead sometimes. Maybe it's TCs or transaction management or, training your coaches or training your agents and coaching your agents. And that's where, things like Shiloh have come out. But identifying those pain points is the first stop here. Justin, you can go to the next slide for me. The next one is the fun part, which is exploring the AI opportunities, staying on top of everything. And I know, actually, Justin, if you could go to the Perplexity, I want to show the deep research real quick. And this will be one of the things in our QR code that you guys can steal from us. But this is just a free application called Perplexity, if you haven't heard of it, which has a very similar feature to OpenAI's deep research. And OpenAI's deep research right now is running at $200 a month. Whereas Perplexity's is free, and in Justin and I's opinion, I think a little bit better as well. So here is a little use case for you. This prompt is asking it to find real estate trends and statistics that they can put in a marketing email for teams, specifically for Tempe, Arizona, where we're at. So Justin, if you want to go ahead and press search for me. And we're going to let this run a little bit because it's not just taking the prompt and just generating it. It's thinking through each step of what it's going to research. And it's also essentially assessing itself on whether it's worth researching or not. So these market statistics can be easily sent out in an email later, and that all that research is kind of done for you. Justin, you can go back to the presentation.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah. The cool thing is that, like, yeah, we can leave this alone. We don't have to sit here and watch it. We just sent it on its way. It's working like its own little AI agent as a research agent right now. So go for it.
Yeah. So autonomous, and we're able to automate that. So it's going through every day. You get one of those, or every week you have it run through the stats, and then you can put that into a drip campaign or an email that's sent out to your agents. But exploring those AI opportunities where it's going to be most applicable. And this is going to be based off of the pain points that you find. Where is it client facing? Is it agent facing? Is it in your transaction management and reporting? What are the things that are holding you back, and where are the opportunities for growth there that have actually been shown in the marketplace? Just go to the next slide. And then this is a really important one too, is piloting and prioritizing. You don't want to do an entire AI overhaul with your team. I mean, I have learned that lesson the hard way in my time in the industry of just feeding your agents through a water hose of AI and new tech implementations. And so you really want to hone in on 2 or 3 projects that are going to be very key drivers and make very great impact inside of your company to be able to implement that for your team. And you want to start there.
And just to chime in real quick on that, like a really big portion of that, you guys, is like, especially if you're a team leader, you can't roll out too much at once. It causes chaos in your organization. The second thing is that who uses this stuff? It's the agents on your team. It should be helpful. It should be a tool for them. So you need buy-in from your agents, which is why starting small, getting adoption, getting it rolled into your organization, and then moving on to the next project is the ideal process. So,
yeah, absolutely. And that brings me to another point here, is getting feedback. You do want to test it, like Justin said, with a small group of your agents. And listen to their feedback. They're in the field. They're using this tool just as much as you are. And so what they're saying and what they're experiencing with the tool that you're trying to implement is going to be very important moving forward as you're building it. And the last one is scaling and integrating. And so obviously we don't want to build anything that's a standalone tool that's going to just add another step to our process. Integration is one of the most important things when it comes to streamlining your processes and actually building something that your team's going to use. Like, imagine if your team had a second follow-up boss that they needed to go into just to update a lead. They're not going to do that. And so we want to build it into the existing systems that we have and keep that flow and keep that streamlined process. Again, training your team is very important. When it comes to these products, you have to have a launch plan, right? You can't just, again, feed it to them and expect them to learn it. Make sure you have really in-depth training. I know actually Jeff is one of the best in the world at that. I see those videos of him with his team just absolutely cooking with them. And so we love to see that. And then also adapt and grow, like always be a student of the game, right? Anytime that something new comes out, there is, again, we talked about shiny object syndrome. There is the desire to go straight to it and just implement it in your team, but make sure that it is within the integration in the process of your system and being streamlined properly. So I think if you follow these tools, and we'll have the QR code up here in a second. If you follow these 4, you can go to the next one, Justin. It's just like a little review. You can just repeat this process over and over again with each project that you're looking to kind of tackle here.
Let's peek back in on Perplexity and see if it's done yet.
Good idea.
So look at this. Perplexity scoured the internet for 25 different sources that it pulled from. It's showing us its thought process the entire way through. AI now thinks not linearly, but in step-by-step fashion, all on its own, right? So it's taking each, just like a human would, website by website, making sure that that makes sense with the information that we're accumulating. And then, ta-da, this is done. We have an email that is freaking incredible that has quote citations back to the sources where it came from that you can send out to your clients instantaneously. And all you have to do is just save this prompt and run it once a month, and then copy and paste this and email it out. Makes it so much faster than you ever having to do that. And like, think about the information that most people are sending out to their clients right now is stuff like, oh yeah, check out my new listing, or check out this, and maybe some brief stats about the market. This is really in-depth stuff that somebody that is buying or selling a house will really want to freaking know about, right? So this makes it extremely valuable information that will keep people coming back and opening your emails. And then one thing I also wanted to add in here is that we get a lot of questions at Bar, like, how do I pick the right technology? How do I know which AI, which platform is Humanize or Shiloh or any of those things? Which one matters the most for me? Unfortunately, the answer to that question is you have to have your systems and processes down and defined first, because the only way that you know how to pick the right technology is you go, okay, cool. Based on my list of things that happen here, so you break it out from new lead to nurturing to they're an active client to they're under contract to they're a past client. What are the steps that we follow as an organization to get there? Now, the way that we pick technology, especially this AI stuff, is which one of these things helps me accomplish that list of tasks at a greater rate with more efficiency that fits my budget that I have right now, right? Those are the questions that you ask yourself. And then you assemble your tech stack from there. And